face and she's so pretty when she looks across the water.
White men wear clothes, wear a hat one day and change it the next. Opinions of opinions. The quality of what you do is down to listening to the person, caring about the person, caring about the cats, if you're going to draw cats. And it's these type of aspects of listening to what people love doing themselves and bringing that out subtly so that the person naturally comes forth, and then you can't really dictate to them. Good teaching's about letting that person then, this is how I was out when I was younger. I didn't understand that then because I was younger and I was a kid, but I was 12, so a 12-year-old, you know, I was interested in football, plays, other things that I was interested in. I loved art, but my art teacher didn't really force any of us to do art. He didn't push anything on you. He would sit down with you as a friend and say, how are you? How have you seen that? That's good, John, but you could improve on that. But that is very good. He'd pick out something that I'd done on that picture or that project to say, he wouldn't criticise it, even if he wasn't very pleased with some of the work you'd done. He'd tell you that right at the end before you left, quickly. Yeah. And you had to spend half an hour telling you what you're good at. Yeah. It is, it's good teaching. And people are pressured with teaching with lots of things, so that's quite invaluable information. It's, what's valuable is not in terms of money, it's in terms of what people are about. Things on, I'm trying to get more, I'm trying to develop things that I'm doing. But you can't always do what you want to do, and you can't do it in the way you want to do sometimes. Through life, through pressures, through putting family first, and family's very important, so it's to me. It's to most people in care. So that's what I was trying to say before when I started off. Caring isn't something you can pick up and put down at your own pace. That's the problem. And sometimes it pulls us back, we think, or it's too much energy drained from us because it's too upsetting what you're dealing with or how you deal with stuff. But if you separate that from your emotions, and don't care like that Rob said in his letters, if you separate the things too much because you're too clinical, because you've got to deal with them that way. And I can understand that, lots of people can, and that doesn't mean you're not caring, it means that you're dealing with them that way. Sometimes, and it can get you through that period, dealing with it that way, by cutting off and saying, I'll still help people, I'll still be caring, but when you section stuff off like that in your mind, you section stuff off like that in the way you feel about your work. And so when people say, that's a very good picture, or it's got no feeling in it, have you ever heard that? Where someone will say, it's very good that, or they'll see a crochet and say, wow, that's wonderful. You feel like that you've done that old couple walking down a path, holding hands from the back, not from the front, so you don't know who the faces are. It's a beautiful little image with the dog, the little old dog. Traipsing behind if it's old and it's on its last legs, or it's 13, 14, you get these old little dogs that are beautiful. They might be slower but they're very faithful. That type of feeling, what I'm talking about, just little moments like that in life, or someone just doing a gesture that you didn't expect them to do. These are the things that are important in art. People then say, that's got nothing to do with art, John. I'm talking about painting the sky. I'm talking about drawing a face like so. I'm talking about doing a drawing. No, art doesn't come like that. Art comes from within, from without. It can soak from without to within and then come out. So, excuse me. So, anyway, it's not complicated, keep it more, it's very important. I don't dumb down things, mate. If you dumb down things, you devalue who's in front of you, and you don't, because some people say, oh, I didn't follow you there, or how do you mean by that? We'll have a little mini question and answers at the end. I'm about a quarter of the way through actually, because it's quite simple what I've got to say, and what's more important is what you're about and the things that you feel. But that reflects through how I'm describing what I'm doing. I started like any child, so I'll try and cover this for 2 or 3 minutes. I started like any child drawing. children learn to draw, they'll grab it like that, a crayon, almost like you're mixing something. Usually don't draw like that when they're very little. Just grab a crayon, I used to just grab a crayon and, you know. At 3 and 4 I started to learn how to hold my pencil properly and draw things. My mum and dad weren't from an artistic background, from quite I suppose a working class background in Manchester, as you can tell by my accent probably. But I was educated in Marple, so I got a very, very good education. I was really lucky because I went to a place where, I suppose, if I'd stayed in central Manchester at 5, 6, 7 up to 9, 10, it was rough. You move from school to school as well, because my mum really brought us up on her own, really, if I'm honest. I mean, my dad was a good man, but he drank quite a lot. So, I don't remember much of them years. I just remember, he always encouraged me, Dad. He always said, and he drew himself. So he was an odd character. So he used to come back from the building and say, can you draw that, son? And I was about 4 and there we go. But I wasn't any different than any other kid, but I love for that. I did really like drawing even when I was young. And I'll give you an example of the stuff that we're doing, which I've not actually, I've just found some stuff, haven't we, John? We've just put on the internet. John kindly does my website and promotion at the moment. And so I started, like any kid, crayon, drawing, 2. Get to 4, started drawing more detailed things. Copied my dad's drawings. And my mum Mary, she said, they're better than your dad's, John. When I got to 5, I was copying what my dad was. He said, can you copy that? Can you draw that? So I started to do very detailed drawings at 5. And I started drawing more and more and more. Like, a bit like Mozart, just enjoying what you do. Loving it. Not complicated, nothing clever or trying to be. I just like to draw. It was something that I was miles away. So as I carried on, here's an example I did of my terrier, which I did when I was 10. But I think, again, that's about 5 years after we were talking about. So that's like a little Yorkie terrier. If you want to pass that round, you're okay to discipline. If you just pass that round, it shows you the detailed type of drawing I was doing. That was in pencils. Now, so this love of enjoying it and not being, so I went to Marple. I went from Manchester at 8 right into Marple, and I got a fairly good education there, because it's quite a middle class area, I suppose. It's a nice place, bit Glossop in a way. It's only up the road. And I met a friendly art teacher called John Mifflin when I was 12. And he picked up on what I was doing. He said, wow, he said, one of the best drawings I've seen. He said, I've been at the secondary school, all boys school it was the first year. Because you remember it went comprehensive in, was it 72 or 3? It went comprehensive in my second year, so it was girls and boys then. We're all sort of like, wow. So it was very different situation. And I met John Mifflin when it was all boys school at first year, and he didn't treat you any better than anyone, just because you were good at what you did. He said he'd always have time for everyone. He'd sit down with you, and he taught you where he'd listen to you. He wouldn't talk. He'd listen to you, find out what you enjoyed doing, like I said before. And then what he'd do, 2 weeks later, he wouldn't do it straight away. He'd bring a book in about the artist we're talking about, or somebody thought could help me. And I said, when was he born, sir? He said, oh, he was born centuries ago, but look at him. Like a writer would, if you're good at writing, they'd bring in a book that you like. No different, really. But John was very, very knowledgeable. He was a Royal Academician from the Royal Academy of London. And he just happened to be teaching at a... you're all right.
Will you come to... Are you going to join us? No.
He just happened to be teaching at Marple. Normally he'd be at a university at Birmingham where he studied as well. And he won the Prix de Rome when he was 19. So, which is a medal for etching, master etcher. You've got to be really good at etching to win the Prix de Rome. It's a scholarship that takes you for 3 years into the centre of Italy for 3 years study. So you get really a free holiday and free study in Italy if you win the Prix de Rome. And he won it. He won it for VE Day.
Hey, when he was 10 years old.
All right, yeah, go see Margaret. Look at the caps.
10?
Yeah, I bought some early stuff, Wendy. So anyway, it's like showing off. That sometimes, no, really, it's. I love drawing, and I've not done it to say, oh, I'm that good. I've done it to show that there was obviously need an ability. It's not all about who's best and worst or who's good and bad, because a lot of people develop at different states. You can bump into someone who was in with the wrong people, who can get on drugs and things, and then they get off that, go and meet a nice lady or settle down or go and change their life, and within 3 years you won't recognise that person. You can change anything around. Not everyone develops at the same rate. Not everything's continuous. Not everything develops in a way that we all know that in life. It's the aspirations we have in our mind that we think, oh, I wish I'd done that, or I wish. Wishing's a different thing again. Anyway, so this love of art, he picked up on what I did John Mifflin at 10, and he said, 11, and he said 11 and a half, and he said, here's a book on Leonardo. I said, wow, sir, I could never do that. I said, you never will be able to, no matter how good you are. Because Leonardo was Leonardo. You are you. You are you. You. It's great to be in awe of things that are beautiful or that you really value, but it's not about that. It's about what you're about, your creativity. What you, even if someone says, I'm not, I have this a lot when I've done big talks in Marple, like to 200 or so. Big proper lecture theatres where I've done that in Birmingham, Manchester, Spain. Taught to 400 head interpreter because I speak very good Spanish. So, and they were struggling a bit with me because of my accent, and I do talk quickly sometimes. It's like getting my ideas out. So, try to slow down a little. So, what really it's about is your creativity, the spark that you're interested in. Whether you want to write something down in a fleeting moment, it could be a poem, it could be a line, it could be just a line, it could be a sonnet, it could be 14 lines, it could be something that you do. I had a lot of plays as well, was at school. Bertolt Brecht, Caucasian Short Circle, got Les Miserables, haven't we? Oliver. So we did popular plays as well. But I went to a place where I met someone who was almost like a second dad to me. I was from a poor background, like I say, in Manchester, and I just enjoyed doing art. I didn't ever look down on anything. I didn't have a haughty look about me. I cared about what I loved doing. That's very important. And the more you tap into how you feel about the things that you care about, the easier life is, and the more it shines how you naturally are. And other people will say, yeah, but you can't do that with pressures of life. Sometimes you act how you don't want to because you're dealing with other people who are either a pain or difficult situations. No, art's connected with all of this. Art's connected with everything. Everything's connected if we care. From caring about a little bird that's fallen down and might need some care and attention, to sketching a beautiful sky, to listening about someone who's been through a terrible tragedy or something beautiful that they've told you. It's about everything. And you can't separate it from who you are and life. So being creative is about you. Yes, this is what I do, but then I've plugged away. I've kept doing what I love doing. Anyone's told me I can't do something, I'll just think, well, you might have a point, I'll have a go. Or I'll think, how do you know what I know in my feelings? Because it's your feelings, then your mind. The mind follows the feelings. The feelings are very hard to pin down because it's not static, it's transient. So